before. I know I have. That's because this song is called Alice's Restaurant. It's about Alice and the restaurant. But Alice's Restaurant was never the name of the restaurant. That was always just the name of the song. That's why I guess I still call the song Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. And you can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Well, it all started about 50 years ago. 50 Thanksgivings ago. 50 years ago on Thanksgiving, when my friend and I decided to go up and visit Alice at the restaurant. But Alice didn't used to live in the restaurant. She used to live in the church nearby the restaurant, in the bell tower, with her husband Ray and Foch the dog. Living in the bell tower like that, they used to have a lot of room downstairs where the pews used to be. And seeing as how they took out all of the pews and having all that room, they decided that they didn't have to take out their garbage for a long time. We got up there, found the place was filled with garbage, and we decided it'd be a friendly gesture for us to take the garbage down to the town dump. So we took half a ton of garbage, put it in the back of a red VW microbus, took shovels and rakes and implements of destruction, and headed on toward the town dump. We got there. There was a sign, a chain across the road saying, "Closed on Thanksgiving." We had never heard of a dump being closed on Thanksgiving before. So with tears in our eyes, we drove off into the sunset, looking for another place to put the garbage. We didn't find one till we come to a side road. And off of the side of the side road, there was a 15-foot cliff, and at the bottom of the cliff, there was another pile of garbage. We decided that one big pile would be better than two little piles, and rather than bring that one up, we decided to throw ours down. That's what we did. Drove back to the church, had a Thanksgiving dinner that couldn't be beat, went to sleep and didn't get up until the next morning when we got a phone call from Officer Obie. He said, "Kid, we found your name on an envelope at the bottom of a half a ton of garbage. Just wanted to know if you had any information about it." I said, "Yes, sir, Officer Obie. I cannot tell a lie. I put that envelope under that garbage." So after talking to Obie for about 45 minutes on the telephone, and we finally arrived at the truth of the matter, and Obie said we had to go down and pick up the garbage. We also had to go down and talk to him at the police officer station. Now, friends, there was only one of two things that Obie could have done at the police officer station. The first thing was, he could have given us a medal for being so brave and honest over the telephone, which wasn't very likely, and we didn't expect it. And of course, the other possibility was, he could have bawled us out and told us never to be seen driving garbage around the vicinity again, which is what we expected. But when we got to the police officer station, there was a third possibility we hadn't counted upon, and we was both immediately arrested, handcuffed. I said, "Obie, I don't think I can pick up the garbage with these handcuffs on." He said, "Shut up, kid. Get in the back of the patrol car." We sat in the back of the patrol car and drove to the quote scene of the crime, unquote. Now, friends, I want to tell you about the town of Stockbridge, Massachusetts, where this was happening. They got 3 stop signs, 2 police officers, and 1 police car. But when we got to the scene of the crime, there was 5 police officers and 3 police cars, being the biggest crime of the last 50 years, and everybody wanted to get in the newspaper story about it. And they was using up all kinds of cop equipment they had hanging around Diamond Prince. And they took 27 8x10 colored glossy pictures with circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one explaining what each one was to be used as evidence against us. They took pictures of the approach, the getaway, the northwest corner, the southwest corner. That's not to mention the aerial photography. It was after the ordeal we went back to the jail. Obie said he was going to put us in a cell. He said, "Kid, I'm going to put you in a cell. Give me your wallet and your belt." And I said, "Obie, I can understand you wanting my wallet, so I don't have any money to spend in the cell." "What do you want my belt for?" He said, "Kid, we don't want any hangings." And I said, "Obie, did you think I was going to hang myself for littering?" Obie said he was making sure, and friends, Obie was, because he took out the toilet seat so I couldn't hit myself over the head and drown. Took out the toilet paper so I couldn't bend the bars, roll the toilet paper out the window, slide down their hole, have to escape, get away. Obie was making sure, all right. And it was about 4 or 5 hours later that Alice, remember Alice? This is still the song about Alice. She come back, and with a few nasty words to Obie on the side, she bailed us out of jail. We went back to the church, had another Thanksgiving dinner that couldn't be beat. Went to sleep and didn't get up until the next morning when we all had to go to court. We walked in, sat down. Obie come in with the 27 8x10 colored glossy pictures with the circles and arrows and the paragraph on the back of each one explaining what each one was to be used as evidence against us. He sat down. A man come in. He said, "All rise!" And we stood up. And Obie stood up with the 27 8x10 colored glossy pictures, and the judge walked in. Sat down with a CNI dog. He sat down. We sat down. Obie looked at the CNI dog. Then at the 27 8x10 colored glossy pictures and looked at the CNI dog. And Obie began to cry. Because Obie come to the realization that this was a typical case of American blind justice. There was no way the judge was going to look at the 27 8x10 colored map. It didn't matter. Because we was both fined. We was fined $50, $25 each, and we had to pick up the garbage in the snow. Of course, that's not what I come to talk about or nothing. I just thought I'd mention it. Thought I'd talk a little bit about the draft. And for those that don't remember or weren't there, back in those days, they used to have a thing called the selective service system, which meant that when you was a guy, you turned 18, you had to register with the selective service so that you could select some kind of service that might be of interest to you. If your choice was none of the above, they would help you by making a selection for you. To do that, they had buildings all around America, and one up in New York where you used to have to go in, get injected, inspected, detected, infected, neglected, and selected. And I remember I had to go in there one morning a long time ago for my physical examination. So I got good and drunk the night before, because I wanted to feel my best when I went in that morning. I mean, I wanted to feel like, I wanted to be like the all-American kid when I went in that morning. I was hung down, I was brung down, I was all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly-looking things, and I walked in, I sat down. They gave me a piece of paper, said, "Kid, see the psychiatrist, room 604. I went in there. I said, "Shrink, I want to kill. I want to see blood and gore and guts and veins in my teeth. Eat dead, burnt bodies, I mean kill. And I started jumping up and down, yelling, kill. And he started jumping up and down with me. And we was both jumping up and down, yelling, kill. Till the sergeant come over, pinned the medal on me, sent me down the hall saying, "You're our boy." I didn't feel real good about it. But I proceeded on down the hall, getting more injections, inspections, and all kinds of stuff that they was doing to me at the thing there. And I was there for 2, 3, 4 hours. I was there for a long time, going through all kinds of part of me, and they was leaving no parts untouched. But I proceeded through until I finally come to see the very last man. I walked up, I said, "What do you want to see me about?" He said, "Kid, we only have one more question. Have you ever been arrested?" And I told him the story of the Atlas's Restaurant Massacre with 5-part harmony, full orchestration, all kinds of other phenomena. He stopped me again, he said, "Did you go to court?" And I told him the story of the 27 8x10 colored glossy pictures with the circles and arrows. He stopped me again, he said, "Kid, I want you to go over, sit down on that bench that says Group W. Now, kid." I went over there. Group W. Group W is where they used to put you if you might not have been moral enough to join the army after committing your special crime. There was all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly-looking people on the bench next to me. I mean, these was mother rapers, father stabbers, father rapers. There was father rapers sitting there on the bench next to me. I mean, these was mean, nasty, ugly, horrible, crime kind of guys, and the meanest, ugliest, nastiest one, the meanest father raper of them all, was coming over to me, and he sat down next to me and said, "Kid, what'd you get?" I said, "I didn't get nothing. I had to pay $25 to pick up the garbage." He said, "Kid, what was you arrested for?" I said, "Littering." And they all moved away from me on the next day. Giving me the hairy eyeball and all kinds of stuff until I said, "Hey, creating a nuisance." Then they all come back and shook my hand, and we had a great time on the bench talking about crime, mother stabbing, father raping. We were smoking cigarettes and all kinds of stuff, having a good time. Until the sergeant come over. He had some paper in his hand. He held it up. He went like this. He said, "Kids, this be back up 47 words and 11 sentences. Well, no time for crime. Detail the crime. You gotta say the 10 shit about the crime. The rest of the officer's name kind of thing. Gotta say it." He talked for 45 minutes. And nobody understood a word he said. But we had fun. Filling out the forms. Playing with the pencils on the bench. I wrote down the massacre like I was supposed to. And I put down the pencil. Turned over the piece of paper. And there on the other side of that piece of paper, in the middle of the other side, I mean, away from everything else on the other side, underlined, capitalized, quotated, read the following words. "Kid, have you rehabilitated yourself?" I went over to the sergeant. I said, "Sergeant, you got a lot of gall to ask me if I rehabilitated myself. I mean, I'm sitting here on the bench. I'm sitting here on the Group W bench because you want to know if I'm moral enough to join the army, burn women, cats, houses, children, villages after being a litter bug." He said, "Kid, we don't like your kind. We're going to send your fingerprints off to Washington." Friends, somewhere in Washington, enshrined in a little folder, is a study in black and white of my fingerprints. They're still there. They've been there 50 freaking years. And I'm not the only one. They've been adding to the collection recently. So the only reason I'm singing you this song tonight is because you may know somebody in a similar collection. Even some of you could be in a collection like that. And if you're in a collection like that and you don't know what to do, there may be only one, well, there may not be much you can do, but there's something you can try. And that's to be wherever it is you are, as it were. Stop whatever you're doing and go something like, "You can get anything you want at Atlas's Restaurant." That's it. Just singing a couple of bars at Atlas's Restaurant. Imagine one person. Probably not worth collecting. But imagine two of them. Maybe two of them trying to get married in Texas or Ohio or something. Three of them out in Utah or Idaho or something. I don't know. Or 50 50 of them, maybe 50 people a day, maybe 50,000 people that stop whatever they're doing, singing a few bars at Alice's restaurant. That's worth collecting. Not only that, you get enough people singing along and collecting stuff, even the folks that's collecting it might start singing along. And when you get a song that's worth singing, no matter whether you was being collected or collecting them, it's what we used to call a movement. And one of these days, somebody's going to write a song like that. It's not this one. So while we're waiting for that one to get wrote, we can practice on the one we got. It's not that hard. It goes like this. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Walk right in, it's around and back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. Irvine, that sucks. You want to end war, you want to change the world or do something, you got to learn to sing loud, so it's worth collecting.